How do we learn
So I am
who
just
we
getting
are?
over COVID,
Do we
excuse me on
decide for
that, but
ourselves?
we are looking
Is
at
it shaped by those around
understanding
us?
gender
Or is
gender
it a little
equality.
bit of both? From a young age, we are taught what is acceptable
No,
behavior
I don't have
and
any
what
volume
isn't.
here for some
This may
reason.
look different for boys and girls depending on individual families and cultures. However, boys and girls have unique pressures put on them to look, act, and talk in certain ways that are in line with what is considered
Maybe there's
appropriate
nothing
for their particular
to be
sex.
volume 4.
Gender is
Okay,
a term used to
interesting.
describe the expectations for boys, masculine, and girls, feminine. Gender is also how you feel
okay.
on the inside. Can
That's
you
my
think of
fault.
a time when you
All
felt
right.
pressured to act a certain way? Maybe you felt discriminated against or left out because you are a boy or a girl. This is Megan. Ever since she was little, she felt different. She never felt like a girl. She didn't want to wear dresses and always felt more like her boyfriends than her girlfriends. She started dressing a little more masculine because that felt better for her. Even though some people made fun of her, she had a few friends that stuck by her the whole time. Megan started going by just M and preferred friends to refer to her as he. It was a process, but M's counselor helped him through it. Some people feel like their biological self doesn't match how they feel inside. They may feel that the opposite gender, both genders or no gender, is more fitting for them than the gender associated with the biological parts they were born with. Some people who experience this don't necessarily feel like they were born in the wrong body, but some people do. It is important to be kind to people who are learning more about themselves and trying to express who they are.
I agree with
It's
that.
a difficult place to
I
be,
agree. I agree.
but know that help is available. Counselors can help you work toward accepting your true self and being proud of who you are.
That's a good positive message. That's a good positive message. Let's say calling people by they, them, he, she. I don't even know what to call this. I really don't. I don't know what to call it. I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to understand this. Um, hey, they, them, when you're talking about a specific person. I don't understand this. So
Hi everyone, my
non-binary
name's Ashley
pronouns.
Wild and welcome to my channel, Ashley's Wildlife. I've got a pronoun problem, and so do you. What's a pronoun? Pronouns are those little words that we use to describe other people when we're talking about them. In English, traditionally,
But how
he,
you doing?
him, his, she, her, hers, also we, they, I, them, theirs, all of these things are pronouns. Why are pronouns important? They're important because using the correct pronouns honors and validates someone's identity. If I tell you that my pronouns are she, her, and hers, and you choose to use any other pronouns when you're referring to me, you're being disrespectful. You're not only invalidating my identity, but you're dishonoring the way I show up in the world, and you're making the claim that you know me better than I know me. And that is a problem. A common question is, what if I don't know someone's pronouns?
I had to take a break for a while.
Let's say you're in a conversation and you're like, hi,
I got COVID
and this is crazy,
and my medication for my bipolar kind of messes with my memory. It's called fog of mind.
That's a perfect opportunity for you to explain to them.
So unfortunately, I don't remember much.
In order to best be respectful of their identity.
So I apologize.
The conversation about gender rolling with that person. On the other hand, they might say, my pronouns are he, him, and his. Thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate that. In that simple act, you are doing so much to demonstrate respect for that other person. Another way you can try to be inclusive and respectful while also creating opportunities for education is by using the gender-neutral pronouns they, them, and theirs when you're referring to someone whose pronouns you don't know. Let me give you an example of a conversation I witnessed. When I was at the wedding this weekend, I saw this really attractive photographer.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is insane. Oh, we interacted on Twitter. Okay, that's why. I'm sorry, but this is insane. It sounds to me that they're changing definitions in the dictionary to, I guess, identify themselves as individuals. Is that kind of what this is? I'm not really sure. So I guess we'll keep going.
Photographer, man, they were just so attractive. Really? Did you talk to them? No, they were older, and I felt intimidated, and so I didn't end up talking to them. Notice how gender-specific pronouns are not important in this context. The meaning is not lost. By using gender-neutral pronouns, you hold back from making any assumptions about a person's appearance, because gender is not based on appearance. And even when that person is not there, you do them a great service by respecting the fact that their identity might be more complex than meets.
Gender is based on biology. Sorry. There's a very small percentage of hermaphrodites. The rest is biology. And environmental. The environment that you grew up in, generally there's, in my opinion, that there's some kind of abuse that happens at a certain age, whether it be sexual or just emotional, physical, something happened that was traumatic. That's just my opinion.
They, them, and theirs are not radical pronouns. These have been used even in the English language for years and years and years and years, and furthermore, hundreds of languages around the world have gender-neutral pronouns built right in. So I guess pronouns, not that big of a problem after all. Bye-bye.
Okay, pronouns seem to be a big problem because I know somebody that works in an office and they're making them take, like, I think it's 6 months, a 6-month seminar about how to appropriately approach people and say in this gender fluid, I'm not sure exactly how you say that. What's your opinion on that? Any opinion on that? Oh, and also, are you an artist that I met on Twitter?
Hi everyone. My name is Ashley Wild and welcome to my channel, Ashley's Wild Life. This week on the Gender Resources playlist, I am going to talk about my experiences as a non-binary person with dysphoria. Now, this is an interesting topic because the first time that I really understood that dysphoria was a part of my life was around a year ago when I came up with the gender tag project. While I was researching for the project, I came across this little paragraph of information on a website called nonbinary.org. Some non-binary people experience bodily dysphoria relating to certain primary or secondary sexual characteristics. The act of obscuring, removing, or replacing these sexual characteristics in order to reduce gender dysphoria may result in physical androgyny without the individual having set out to specifically obtain an androgynous presentation. It was this paragraph of information that helped me get a more clear understanding of what dysphoria actually means for an individual. Prior to that, I had thought that dysphoria meant you want your breasts removed, you want your penis removed, you want a penis constructed, you want all of these very specific physical characteristics to be changed. And while transitioning and physical...
Look, there should be straight, gay, asexual, transgender. That's it. That's all there should be. All this other nonsense. If I was in a workplace and somebody said, "Oh, you call them they," I would say, "What's your name?" And they would say, "Chad." And I would say, "I'm going to call you Chad. I'm not going to play the game."
Physically and medically transitioning are oftentimes consequences of dysphoria. The two things are separate and they're not necessarily linked. And because they weren't linked for me, because my dysphoria doesn't have a direct link with surgical intervention, I thought it wasn't real dysphoria. And that's kind of why I'm making this video. So I can really only speak from my own perspective. But as a non-binary person, as someone who identifies as neither a man nor a woman, I have kind of a hard time figuring out how it is that I can show up authentically when it comes to gender. I feel upset when characteristics about my body are feminized or considered to be feminine. And I also feel upset when I'm gendered in a way that indicates that somebody believes that I am a man. And that's pretty sticky because it means that there are few situations in which I feel truly comfortable. There are two big things that I feel dysphoric about. The first is my breasts. And I know that other people pick up on this because I get asked a lot whether or not I bind my chest. And I think it's an interesting question because the answer is that I don't. I choose not to bind my chest. The reason that the question is interesting to me though is because I wear sports bras, which are really tight, and because my chest is small, they compress my chest enough for me to feel comfortable with it. I won't even put on a cupped bra, not even like as a joke or like to be funny. It makes me so uncomfortable to see my chest presented in this like sort of sexualized and feminized way that I actually can't. And so I don't bind, but I also think I don't bind because I don't have to in order to feel like my chest is manageable. If my breasts were any larger than they are, I suspect that I would bind because they make me uncomfortable. And I don't necessarily want them to be removed. I don't necessarily want them gone, but they're a part of my body that I accept privately and which I feel shouldn't really be part of my public interactions with other people. The second thing that I get dysphoric about is my period. And it took me probably until about a month or so ago to really figure out that what I
Okay, I had enough of this woman. You know what? What we're going to do? We're going to go to something a little more fun. And what's going to be a little more fun is oh, look, that's right there. Okay. What I want to do is, oh, this isn't, well, I'm used to using OBS. So what we're going to do here Because we're going to go through, you're going to see what kind of crap you got to go through. All I want to do is change. Actually, I just want to go to the dashboard. And the dashboard should have I got to be able to change this somehow. I'm looking for a spot to change what the edit is for Twitch and for all the multi streams. Because up here, there isn't anything up here. No. See, this is why I don't like the Steam Labs. Because it's a real pain in the butt. All I want to do is change what the edit says. And I can't even figure out how to do that. Hmm. Uh, that's not what I want at all. I just want to change something so simple. And it won't let me do it. Okay, let's see. See, I can't. All right, guys.